kind of fixed the lighting, sort of. Now you can actually sort of see my face while I'm playing. It's not going to be very long tonight, but I thought I'd hop on. I want to get further in the story. Oh, let me edit the thing. I'll just name it episode 5, and if something jumps out at me, I'll name it that after the fact. Oh my god. It's too much hair brushing my face. It's gonna bother me. Okay. I didn't know I could do that. I think this, yeah, we can just hop right in. I'm gonna turn this. Okay, that should be fine. Okay, here we go. She took the cap off the marker and brought it slowly up to my face while I was immobilized. No, no! I let out my death throes. Oh, that was the end of the scene. Okay, we're over that. I wonder what more slice of life stuff we're gonna get into before more plot development. As soon as the club activities were finished, Raina flew off, probably so she could go dig out that cute Colonel Sanders that she wasn't able to take home yesterday. So today it was just Neon and me walking home together, a rather rare occurrence. A mountain of treasure, huh? The guys throwing it away probably never thought in their wildest dreams that Raina would be grateful to them. Mountain of treasure, meaning that damn construction site from before. Oh right, Neon would probably tell me. That murder by dismemberment that seemed to have happened there. Over there, you know, at that damn construction site. Did something happen there long ago? Something sure did. A grand battle. There were sit-ins and demonstrations. It was a bit different from what I wanted to hear, but I decided I'd listen just the same. It was our land that was going to be sunk into a dam reservoir. I would have fought as well, probably. The government guys were really adamant about it. acting all big and full of themselves. Since they figured out that they couldn't settle it with money, they did a bunch of nasty stuff. They were nasty guys. Mion spoke excitedly, as if the whole thing was happening right in front of her. I'm amazed you guys won. You were facing the federal government, right? The mayor and prominent figures in the village all signed petitions. They went to Tokyo and struck deals with legislators, and as a result, the development plan was retracted. It was our complete victory. There wasn't any violence, was there? Like assaults or murders? None. She promptly cut me off, the same as Reina had. Her words signaled the end of discussion. Tomitake-san said one arm wasn't found in the incident. I thought that a murder by dismemberment had occurred, but I guess I was wrong. My curiosity unsated, I sighed dejectedly inside. Later. See you tomorrow. Kei-chan, you can't wash that off until you get home, got it? I got it. I won't. Mion held back her laughter while stealing glances at my face. I wonder what kind of nasty doodles they drew. Damn you, Mion. You shall rue this day. If our roles are ever reversed, I'm going to slop it on all over your face so you won't be able to take it off, even with a scouring pad. Slop it on sounds weird. Upon arriving home, I ran straight into my mom, embarrassing myself yet again. The mood I'd come home to was already on edge. It's not an uncommon thing in our family. Whenever Dad can't come up with a good idea, it always ends up like this. He stomps around the house with his arms crossed. Mom whispered into my ear, "Welcome home, Keiichi. Dad, he's in a bit of a rut right now, so don't bother him, okay?" He can't come up with a new idea. It's because the deadlines are so close together this time. Your dad needs some time to recharge or he doesn't work as well. Dad's paintings feed our entire family. If he runs out of ideas, then it's the end of the Mayabaras. We've never gone hungry before. Could it be that my dad is a master painter? Wouldn't it be easier to get an idea taking a walk outside rather than wandering around the house? The theme of the piece this time is in the household. So it seems your dad wants to use this house as a motif. That's quite a bothersome motif. Keiichi, pick up your room. It looks terrible. Sorry, I'll clean it up later. Oh, come on. Please don't use my room as the motif. Keiichi, there's still time before dinner, so please go take a walk out back or something. The fuck? What, I gotta leave the house because you're in a bad mood? And you've been here all day? Fuck you. What a shitty dad. His bad mood is only temporary. As soon as he gets an idea, his mood improves and he starts humming. Until then, it wouldn't be a bad idea to just go take a walk so I don't aggravate him further. Fuck your dad. Well, I guess I will then. Taking a walk it's not a good idea around this town. I said I was going to take a walk, but I didn't have any particular destination in mind. I just needed to kill some time. I got on my bike and pondered where to go. I could just go read at the bookstore, but it would take about an hour by bike to get to town. It would be dark by the time I got back, so I didn't want to go unless I had to. The roads at night here in Hinamizawa creep me out. If Mion or Sadako ever found out about that, I smiled wryly. Oh yeah, Reina was probably still at that mountain of treasure, the damn construction site. I said it like the damn construction site, not the damn construction site. The excavation of Colonel Sanders was probably taking her a while. It wouldn't be so bad to have her owe me one. Wouldn't be so bad if I had some decent posture. She might return the favor next time we have club activities. With a bit of self-interest in mind, I set off towards the damn construction site. Tomitake-san might be there as well. The only person with information about the incident that both Reina and Mion denied knowing anything about. If I met him again, I'd like to ask for more details. To ask, was there really a dismemberment here in Hinamizawa? That was my real intention. I spotted Raina struggling up on the slope of the garbage pile. It looked like Colonel Sanders was lodged in there pretty firmly. It didn't look like Raina would be able to excavate him by herself. Realizing that Tomitake-san wasn't around, I began climbing up the slope unsteadily. Hey, Raina! Looks like you're working up a sweat. Oh, well, Keiichi-kun. What brings you to a place like this? A place like this, huh? I see, she was aware of it at least. I received a signal for emergency assistance at the accident site. Where is the injured party? Huh? Accident? Huh? But there was a report Colonel Sanders was buried alive in the trash pile. Huh? Oh, that. You scared me. Don't frighten me like that, Keiichi-kun. I was just kidding. I thought you might be struggling by yourself, so I came to help you out. You came for me? Huh. Well, I filled my quota for today. If I don't see Raina blush at least once a day, I'm not getting my daily required nutritional intake. Just kidding. You're embarrassing me now. So, what part was the joke? What part was it? I just ignored her bewilderment. Okay, now move out of the way. So where is Colonel Sanders? Sorry, can't you see him in that gap? He's really buried in there. Colonel Sanders was sideways, surrounded by boards and other construction materials like they were caging him inside. According to Raina, it wasn't like this yesterday. It seems as though another illegal dumper came by yesterday, dumped again, and now he's buried like this. You're trying to move this pile all by yourself? With those scrawny arms? There's no way she would be able to do that with her slender arms. But Colonel Sanders, so cute. There's a chain on the Colonel Sanders at the store. This one, though, I should be able to take this one home. If Raina gave up on this Colonel Sanders, she'll probably start devising a plan to steal the one in front of the store. As Raina's guardian, I won't allow her to sully her hands with crime. Out of the way, I'll do it. Raina blushed again, but this time I left it alone. The pile was enormous. Also, the more days we wasted, the more likely another illegal dumping would occur. If it got buried any deeper, there would be nothing that could be done. Keiichi-kun, I'll help too. Let me help. You just get in the way, so stay back. Pulling out scraps, bending them, tossing them aside. I quickly became covered in sweat and dust. Flying objects drew beautiful arcs across the twilight sky, one after another. Lumber, timber, plywood. Damn it! No matter how much I threw out, there was still more. Even though I could see Colonel Sanders right there. After grandstanding like that in front of Raina, I felt frantic because of how little I had progressed. If I was going to do this seriously, I'd need an axe or a saw or something. That's enough, Keiichi-kun. You're so sweaty. You don't have to try so hard. I'm just doing it for you, Raina. Don't worry about it. Raina began sputtering and turned beet red. Whoops. I meant to say I was trying my best so as to keep her from becoming a criminal. Oh well. I guess I just need a break. This is pretty tough. I sprawled on my back over the grassy slope. I'm so sorry. You're covered in sweat. Raina patted her handkerchief against my forehead. It felt pretty nice. Well, wait here a minute, okay? My house is pretty close. I'll bring you some barley tea, okay? Leaving the handkerchief on my forehead, Raina took off running. Cries of the Higurashi gently cooled the air. After I was certain that Raina was gone, I picked myself up and headed towards what I discovered earlier. That was a garbage pile of magazines and newspapers bound up in twine. Unless I'm mistaken, I believe it was around here. There it was. They were bound stacks of not-so-reputable tabloids. They were stacked chronologically, going back quite a few years. It was quite a disturbing incident. It seems they haven't been able to find one of the arms, you see. If it was just as Tomitake-san said, then undoubtedly there would be mention of the murder. These are troubled times. There is no end to these sickening incidents. There's a large part of society drawn in by these incidents as well, so it had to be recorded somewhere. I unfastened the packages and opened the rain-soaked pages carefully, looking over the table of contents. Not here. Next one. Not here. Next one. It was hard to search since I didn't know when it happened. I didn't know who the perpetrator or the victim was either. I only knew it had happened here. Okay. Gotta let the crybaby in. Yeah, that's you. You're the crybaby. I looked up every so often, checking to see if Reina had come back or not. Nope. You're just gonna walk around the room and cry if you don't sit here. Yeah. I wouldn't want her to see me gawking at a dirty magazine, but it wasn't just that. Both Reina and Neon said they didn't know. But it had happened, without a doubt. As long as Tomitake-san wasn't lying. And if both Reina and Neon... Ah, yeah, there it was. If both Reina and Neon... Ah, yeah, there was. If they had just said that, then I wouldn't have gotten so hung up on it. An incident that neither Reina nor Mion wished to talk about. Trying to uncover it after they tried to conceal it out of good intentions. That made me feel like I was acting against my friends. Hinamizawa, dam worker, lynching, murder by dismemberment. We didn't hear about a lynching. Here it is. The featured article was in the back, and it seemed that there was a photograph in the colored pages at the front. The pages of the featured article were stuck together and weren't easy to open. Reina could return at any moment. Feeling rushed, I gave up and opened the photograph page. The police investigators were carrying a body bag, and newspaper reporters were all bathing it in camera flashes. The image was blurry and hard to understand, but I could definitely make out the headlines. A tragic nightmare at the Hinamizawa construction site. Lynching and murder/dismemberment. The victim was the site foreman. He had assaulted his assailants daily with an explosive backlash from his daily actions. It's a horrible image to see the site foreman as. It happened. It really did happen. It seemed the details were on the next page. I turned the page without pausing. On it was... The assailants butchered the victim's body with hatchets and pickaxes, then used an axe to split the cadaver into 6 pieces: the head, the arms, the legs, and torso. Can't count. Head, arms, legs, torso. Sorry, my nose is itchy. Oh my god. I could understand just from the headline that it was just too terrible an incident. Normally a lynching is just assault and murder, right? Dismemberment with hatchets and pickaxes? That wasn't a lynching. It was a merciless killing to the letter. A brutal murder done by a group of people. With hatchets. With pickaxes. With an axe. Ah! Sorry. Did I startle you? Reina dropped the axe she was holding onto the grass after being startled by my voice. Keiichi-kun, you see, earlier, yeah, you said it would help if you had an axe, didn't you? So then I brought an axe for you from the shed. Reina fluttered her arms in a panic, continuing to explain and apologize. It seemed I had been glaring at her pretty intensely. I'm sorry, I guess my reaction was a bit overboard. No, I'm sorry as well. I'm sorry. Night was drawing close. I was pretty worn out, and it wouldn't hurt to do the rest tomorrow. Doesn't look like we can break that last beam without an axe. You brought it after all. I'll have to borrow it tomorrow, alright? Okay. Why do you look so glum? Tomorrow we'll be digging out Colonel Sanders, right? You're right. I really wanted to take Colonel Sanders home soon. We both knew that it was useless to apologize any more than that. I quenched my thirst with the barley tea Raina brought and wiped my sweat that had now gone cold. We took the path to head home. I felt quite guilty about the tabloid wrapped up in my jacket. Thank God she didn't find out about it. Let's see, how long have we been streaming? 20 minutes. You received new tips? The Hinamizawa Dam Project Special Tabloid Report. Alright, let's see the new one. October 1975. In accordance with the Prime Minister's Bulletin number blank, Hinamizawa's electrical development master plan was announced. The vast scope of the projected Hinamizawa Dam will have an incredibly heavy impact on the village of Hinamizawa. The flooded area caused by the Hinamizawa Dam would include the 5 areas of Hinamizawa: Takatsudo, Kiyotsu, Matsumoto, and Yaguchi. The submerged area includes 291 houses, population 1,251, 1 elementary school, 1 middle school, 1 post office, 1 agricultural cooperative, 1 forestry development lumberyard, 5 shrines, 2 temples, and 1 fishery. All of these communal, cultural, agricultural areas and places of worship will be indefinitely submerged at the bottom of the artificial lake basin. Forsaking the hundreds of years our ancestors poured their blood and sweat into this fertile, resource-rich land is just too painful to bear. All the residents having homes that were to be submerged banded together and created the Oniga-Fuchi Defense Alliance. The dam project was halted and petitions to alter the plan were circulated. The citizens sought peaceful negotiations, but the government and its puppet company Blank openly refused. Performing unspeakable heinous acts, they quashed the democratic actions of the villagers. But the villagers did not falter. Instead, they banded together even more closely and steeled their resolve to protect their homes to the death. Who is this? Whose perspective is this being written from, is what I'm wondering. Continuation of that frightening Hinamizawa Dam construction project is still stalled as of today. The villagers understand that the stalling was caused by sublime power through unity, and they understand that this fearsome plan has not yet been fully withdrawn. The Oniga-Fuchi Defense Alliance has been dissolved after it did its part, but the feelings of unity it garnered had not yet been extinguished. Did their part include the dismemberment, or was that a different party? As long as that passion resides in the hearts of its residents, they'll be able to confront whomever next decides to sink their homes into a lake basin. Oniga-Fuchi Defense Alliance Committee Chairman, Kiichiro Kimoyoshi. Okay. Interesting. Special tabloid report. Nightmare befalls the Hinamizawa Dam. Lynching and murder dismemberment. In blank month of blank day in blank prefecture at the Hinamizawa Dam construction work site in Shishibone City, a bone-chillingly gruesome murder dismemberment. Even though this case has shocked the archipelago, the police will give no details on the case. Exactly what happened at the Hinamizawa Dam? They probably didn't mean to kill him at first, but as the victim resisted by swinging around a shovel, the rest of the perpetrators armed themselves in return, and it quickly escalated to homicide. So said the aforementioned Investigator A. After this bloody tragedy was over, they were left with a body which nobody thought was alive. Blankson had tormented the suspects daily with his rough behavior. At first it was meant to be payback. All the perpetrators were horrified by their deed. I want to learn more about how he treated them. All the perpetrators were horrified by their deed, and one even turned himself into the police. It was the de facto leader of this group, Blank, who suggested hiding the body. Reluctantly at first, they soon began to think that they did not wish to be caught. Guy. Goliath. Come here, dude. Oh my god, my nose is itchy. Fucking allergies. Come here. Construction site had numerous places to hide the body with 6 people. They were originally supposed to hide the body and leave the area, but the de facto leader feared that the consciences of the other 5 wouldn't be able to bear the burden, and came up with a horrifying method to keep them from turning him into the police. He devised the heinous method of splitting up the body among them and making each of them responsible for hiding a piece. Blank had turned... I was just thinking about, like, the 6 members, and I'm, like, thinking about our crew. Even though, obviously, they wouldn't have done it because this happened years before. I don't know if it's, like, symbolizing them. I don't know. Like, some kind of parallel. Blank had turned a simple manslaughter into a gruesome dismemberment and forcibly involved each perpetrator in order to create a sense of unity between them. Each one participated. But what does this mean? Person A spoke out reluctantly. X had ordered each and every one of them to dissect a piece for themselves. They were hesitant at first, but nobody refused. In for a penny, in for a pound was what it meant. Thus, an unimaginable bloody ceremony began. The perpetrators wept and vomited as they performed the gruesome task. How does this tabloid... I think this tabloid's just making shit up, because they're like, oh, they wouldn't tell us anything. There was one person who stubbornly refused, but Blank threatened them, saying nothing would change if someone else ended up dead, and he gave up in his objections. But Blank's plan collapsed in the span of one night. Other Blank, who had refused to dissect the corpse up until the last moment, had broken down into tears at the hospital where he was being treated for an injury sustained during the scuffle and confessed. The criminals were arrested one after the other, but the de facto leader, Blank's whereabouts are still unknown. Also, the right arm hidden by Blank has yet to be found. Despite an ongoing search, this horrible individual has so far managed to elude law enforcement. What could the police be doing? It appears that X had said that he was going to throw the body, right arm, into the marsh. Blank's car was discovered abandoned near the marsh, but there are no clues to his whereabouts. Blank didn't trust his companions. One cannot deny the possibility that he had expected his companions to confess to the police and used his car as a decoy. Of course, I doubt that theory. Since he has no car, one would expect him to have a limited area to which he could have escaped to. But within the station, there were rumors going around that he had accidentally slipped and drowned into the marsh when he went to throw away the body. To the locals, that marsh is believed to be bottomless. It's known as the Onigafuchi, the Ogre's Abyss, and it's said that the bottom of the marsh is connected to the hellish world of demons. The atrocious demon from hell that was Blank. Could it be that he had returned to hell through the marsh? The Zijun Dragon, bringer of luck and fortune, prosperous future, ladies leaping into your arms, business success, promotions, ambition, protection from harm. Not just with pachinko and horse races, but business and even love. Guaranteed or your money back. Zijin Dragon Bracelet DX, one piece. 27,800 yen. Goliath, you fucked it up. Where are you? Come here. Dude, if you're gonna do that... Yeah, that just goes how much you can trust dirty tabloids. Let's save over this. I kind of want to play more. Just like a little bit more. The function of this school as an educational facility is very questionable. Our PE class is exceptionally disorganized. The only things we do together are the warm-ups at the start. The teacher isn't even there after that. All we do is play together. No helping it. Everyone's a different age or gender. The only rule was that we have to stay on school grounds while exercising. All the little kids were gallivanting about. Well, they certainly are being active. They might be getting plenty of exercise, but the Board of Education probably completely forgot about this school. Sorry to keep you waiting. We're all together now. What should we do today for PE? Alright, we have all our members gathered now. Now then, class representative, what should we do for PE today? What should we do? Mion harumphed and crossed her arms haughtily, surveying the area. Explosive power and endurance. There are no friends in the world of sports. Everyone is a rival. The only thing you can trust is in your own body. The heck do you mean by that? You really read too much manga. I quipped without missing a beat. And so we'll be taking a lesson from history, the tried and true king of all outdoor melee events. Let's play tag. It was quite the adorable choice to make after playing it up so much. Just what I was hoping for. That dunderhead Keiichi shall be the first one to be it. I won't be beaten. I'll try my best too. You can't beat me. Why are you guys all so into it? The third rule of our society, you must partake in the game, enjoying it without question. So, this counts as a club activity. Everyone smirked at each other. It's a little bit loud. Actually, okay. They all seem pretty confident. I'm a man. Physically, I should be able to keep up with any girls my own age. Regardless, Mion and Sadako looked like they were aiming for victory, and Reina was looking at me as if pitying my disadvantage. Fine. Tag. I'm in. A yell echoed across the school grounds. These were the rules. Anyone who was able to evade being tagged before the bell was a winner. But we didn't switch who was it. The ones who were tagged by it also became it. So the number of people who were it could increase exponentially. The endgame would become a hellish siege. They call the version we're playing here zombie tag, you see. I see. Anyone infected by a zombie turns into a zombie. Why do you make it sound so scary, I wonder? Why does she always repeat herself? As soon as I catch Reina, I'm going to tear out her entrails while she's still alive. Gross, Keiichi, that's gross. Rikatron placed her head on Reina's head as she panicked. Don't worry, before Keiichi gobbles you down, I'll eat you up gently. Rika, that isn't comforting at all. I like Rika. Rika's probably the best. Both Mia and I nodded deeply. So, the first it. How do you decide who's the zombie? With rock, paper, scissors? Well, it is class time after all. Let's decide by answering questions. I'll ask the questions, and the one who isn't able to answer is the zombie. I have no idea which grade level they're coming from. What does the Japanese word roku mean? Huh? I was bewildered by the sudden question. Mion repeated it. So you need to answer. What's roku in English? It's 6. Is it? How about Kutsushita? Socks. What's the third last letter in the alphabet? It's X. What does seibutsu mean? Of course I know what it is. Sadako cut herself off before finishing the answer. I see, it's quite a lewd question. You're an adult, aren't you? Of course you know what it is, right? I certainly do. Of course I know. Then go ahead and say it. That, you know, that. What does that mean exactly? Aw, Sadako looks like she's in trouble. How cute. Don't take her home, it's a crime. If I didn't nip it in the bud, she might have really tried to take her home. Mion's pursuit was relentless, making Sadako stammer. Now then, go ahead and say it nice and loudly. What does that mean? I do know. Say, is it sex? That means a person, thing, idea, action, or event, which has been previously indicated in context. Huh? Ah. All of us were a bit surprised by Rika-chan's unexpected answer. Well, I see, it certainly is what that means. That could have been awkward. I wonder what I would have done in Sadako's position. I'd probably get ticked off and just blurt out you-know-what at the top of my lungs. I wouldn't want you as an enemy, Mion Sanozaki. Thank goodness you were born a girl. If you were a boy, you'd probably be a perverted asshole. It appears I have no choice. Unfortunately, I, Sadako Hojo, shall assume the role of the zombie. I shall eat everyone. She seems like she's ready to go. All I must do is count to 100, correct? Some jerks skip numbers while counting to 100, so you can start chasing us after you solve this problem. Well, Keiichi-kun, give her a simple one, okay? 1/5 of a cake, 1/6 of a cake, and 1/7 of a cake are all on one plate. Oh no, there are no common denominators? Sadako grabbed a stick in a panic and began drawing a cake in fractions on the ground. If Sadako, who can eat one cake in 60 seconds, eats all of them, how many cakes are left on the plate? Just as I finished giving the word problem, Mion shouted. Ready, go! On Mion's signal, everyone but Sadako scattered. Keiichi-kun, that wasn't a problem at all, was it? Sadako had already lost the moment she started working it out. She's eating it all, so of course there's nothing left on the plate. I was always bad at fractions. Oh my god. Nope. shoe on that box. Everyone dashed off in a direction they thought was best. Knowing the lay of the land, they probably headed right to the best spots. It was obvious I was at a disadvantage. At a time like this, it would have been more effective to go along with those trained in survival skills. Like Mion, for example. I need to catch my breath. In the meantime, why is it that, like, it used to be like, haha, I wish I could talk to a real person instead of this darn robot on the phone. Sometimes talking to a real person isn't even the answer anymore. I say this because it seems like all, like, basic shit like housing, like utilities, things like that, it's all just bullshit fucking representatives that don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And specifically, like for example, I just moved, and the old company, they basically switched the property from where the property switched from the original company that I had the lease with to a new property owner while I was in the middle of moving, and they made this clear to me, but then I'm just like, hey, so anyways, my security deposit, am I gonna, I didn't see any claims for it, and they're like, oh, yeah, we'll get back to you on it. Haven't gotten back to me on it. They try asking me to talk to the new rental company, and it's like, well, no. And I did talk to them because they sent me there. They're just like, yeah, we didn't write that lease, so we can't do anything for you. So they send me back, and they're trying to, like, hot potato me back and forth. But the law is if you don't get any claims on your security deposit within 30 days of that move-out date, you get your security deposit back. It's law. So people, they'll try to fuck you out of it, but I think that's the law for, like, at least most states, is like within 30 days they have to say, like, hey, you had blah 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 damages or whatever, like, so we're gonna take that out. But because of this whole, like, moving property management companies bullshit, they just, like, didn't get around to doing the inspection, I guess. So they haven't, so guess who's probably getting their security deposit back? At least I should. Legally, I'm entitled to it. But yeah, that's fucking annoying. It just feels like you can't get support for anything anymore. Like, I'm resorting to fucking Google instead of, like, it's fucking stupid. Anyways, now that I've caught my breath, a little bit. At a time like this, it would have been more effective to go along with those trained in survival skills, like Mion, for example. The fact that I didn't realize it at the start of the game probably hurt my chances. Glancing back over the school grounds, I saw Sadako just rising up to start. She was really, really mad. She got tripped up on such a dumb question. I stood at one of the corners of the school. I had clear sight lines of two directions, and would probably have a good response time if any zombies started closing in. For the time being, I caught my breath and focused on what I was trained to think during club activities yesterday. Now think calmly, Keiichi Maebara. If I was it now, what would I do? Increasing my numbers would be the shortcut to victory. Then going after the weakest player first is the obvious plan of attack, meaning me. Now then, where could Keiichi-san possibly be? I shan't let you escape. But of course, what would be the best method to track me down? Footprints or smell or maybe some type of trail? If I could craftily hide my tracks, then there would be no trail for Sadako to follow. Where did he go? Oh. Hey, don't claw the back of my chair. But I was no detective. Would I even be able to do that kind of thing in an amateur game like this? Tomita, Okamura. Have you seen Keiichi-san lately? What the heck? Do zombies hunt their prey by asking nicely where they went? Tomita-kun and Okamura pointed to the location where I was hiding. After confirming she was headed in this direction, I abandoned my position. It wasn't easy to hide myself with all those little kids running around as they please. It was becoming even more obvious that I was at a disadvantage for not being familiar with these surroundings. If that was how it was going to be, then to comfort this intelligence-gathering zombie, I would just... what was it? I'd just counter it in a similar vein. I approached some small girls playing with a ball. I'm sorry, but could you relay this message? Tell Sadako Hojo that her parents are at the gate, please. Message, ha ha ha, okay. I stopped the girls as they turned to run off. Wait, don't go yet. Also, take this one to Mion Sonozaki. Tell her the teacher is calling her to the gate. Mwahaha, I am quite the schemer if I do say so myself. If things went well, then Sadako and Mion would run up into each other at the gate. It would put me at a disadvantage if more people were it, but this was Mion we were talking about. She'd figure out a way to escape. But that was just fine, as long as it bought me more time. Mwahaha, dance for me, Mion and Sadako. In the palm of my hand, having my fill of playing the con man, I looked for a place to hide. If you think about it logically, I'd only brought myself a scant amount of time, and it might even come back to bite me. Once it became apparent I'd started spreading false information through the messengers, I could end up being the recipient of one of those messages. Sadako would probably ask the messengers to help her look for me. That would mean there would be more zombies than participants in the game. The virus that was brought about by my mischief could cause an epidemic. I think I need to slow down. The virus that was brought about by my mischief could cause an epidemic. All my classmates would transform into zombies and would only be searching for me. This tactic might backfire horribly. While trembling at the thought of the impending dawn of the dead, I began searching for a safe house. I love zombies. I can never remember the difference or like the names of them, but I really like the one where they're in the mall. And I like... shit, was that? Yeah, I like the one where they're in the mall. I like the one where there's like the sexist dudes and then they end up like dying in the end or whatever, right? Like they're really creepy and like they're against the female protagonist. That one was kind of good. I kind of liked the one where they're in the graveyard and the acid rain happens. It's like a bunch of punks. That one was fun. I found a shed by the incinerator behind the school. After climbing up the roof, I held my breath. It wasn't a bad place to hold out. Not only did I have a good line of sight, but if necessary, I could jump off in 3 different directions to escape. It was getting rowdy down there. The lower grades were running around below the shed. Mayabara-san isn't around. Is he over there? Nope. Where's Keiichi-san, I wonder? His dad is at the front gate. That was definitely a lie. The word gate, the same one I'd used, gave a hint of revenge. So Mion was behind this. I was still keeping one step ahead of the game. I felt bad for my underclassmen, but they'd have to search until the school bell. Hey, do you know where Keiichi-san is at? His mom suddenly got really sick. A message from Mayabara-san. They said his house caught fire and he needs to come to the gate. A jumbo jet fell on top of the Mayabara residence. The police have come to question him. Anything goes now. They say he enjoys peeping into bathrooms. Oh, is it true that he's going around every night stealing panties? Who were they talking about? I heard he wears panties around his head and smells them and stuff. No way I would do that. I heard that class representative Mion was a victim too. What? Oh, this is your doing, Mion. Calm down, Keiichi Maebara. This is Mion's battle tactic to flush me out. Just hold on. If my underclassmen thought about it logically, they would know it's all nonsense. But small kids don't think about things logically. To them, all of those things were true, so they all chuckled together while looking. Wait. While looking for me. Okay. Ha 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 ha. I won, Mion. It's my victory. Bwahaha. Wiping unrelenting tears away, I felt intoxicated by my own victory. Did you hear? I heard that the new transfer student, Maebara-san, is a really perverted person. Yeah. The cost of being Mion had too high of a price. Oh, someone passed below. That's Reina and Rika-chan. Rika-chan, you're still okay? I'm getting by somehow. Seems Mi-chan is it as well. Mion? It couldn't be. She'd become it because of a little strategy? Because of my little strategy. This confirmed that Mion was behind this relentless message war. Then, this wasn't good. We finally got away from Mi-chan, but Sadako-chan, Sadako is searching around the pipes, so we should be safe here for a while. Upon hearing that, I breathed a sigh of relief. While Reina was slumped on the ground, breathing heavily, Rika-chan had started creeping up to her. Rika-chan doesn't normally make noise when she walks, but it's strange. Couldn't be. Whoa, Rika-chan. What is it? What is it? Huh? Don't worry. I'd never seen Rika-chan smile so creepily before. Why are you coming closer? Why? Rika-chan isn't a zombie, is she? Just run away. Don't be scared. I'll be sure to eat you gently. No way. Rika-chan is... Reina was pressed against the wall and Rika-chan lurched forward with both arms out, just like a zombie. Reina quaked with her back pushed up against the wall. It was quite a surreal scene of horror, like one of those zombie breakout videos you'd see. At that moment, Reina's eyes met mine. Keiichi-kun, save me! Zombie Rika-chan turned 180 degrees, exorcist style, and glared at me. Found him. I see Kei-chan. Mion popped out from behind the cinder block wall around the garbage dump, also seeing where I was. The position was only advantageous when there... Oh, that's a typo. My position was only advantageous when there was one zombie. Being surrounded was not as good. You said you located Keiichi-san? I could tell that Sadako was rushing my way. It seemed that Rika-chan had let Reina escape, and I skipped that. And now she was baring her fangs in my direction. Come on down, Kei-chan. The 3 zombies circled the shed, moaning curses. You guys are scary, too scary. I wonder how Kei-chan's guts taste. Keiichi-san. Keiichi, I want you to become one of us. Someone please save me! I saw Reina apologizing to me from across the schoolyard. An apology. Sorry. Leaving me for dead. Reina! I leapt off the roof out of fear, slipping as I landed. Sadako and Rika jumped up on top of me, and after straddling me, they tickled me all over my body. Wahaha! Stop! Yeah! So this means Reina is still left. There isn't much time until the bell. Damn you, Reina. How dare you leave me for dead? The feelings of a zombie. I understood how vengeful ghosts with lingering regrets felt. It's sad. So sad, but Keiichi is one of us now. Dude! Hey! No! No! Cannot do that. You've been banished. It felt like I'd been bitten by a vampire and was now one of their thralls. It was a strange feeling being welcomed over to the side that had pursued me. Zombie tag is quite profound. This is no time to postulate. We must capture Reyna. The principal is walking down the hall. The bell will ring soon. To devour Reyna, I, who had been turned into a demon of vengeance, needed to use any means necessary. Except I wasn't just a zombie. I was a master of the night. A vampire. Using the same trick that had tightened the noose around my neck, I used my classmates to further my evil designs. I gathered up the lower grades from around the school grounds. Everyone listen. Reyna's in big trouble. All of you, please look for Reyna. It's a bigger problem than a jumbo jet crashing into your family's house. Oh yeah, it had turned into that, hadn't it? Leon whistled nonchalantly, trying to avoid the blame. Yeah, it's not even in the same league as jumbo jets. What fell on Reyna's house was a space colony. A space colony? Yeah, it's a really big disaster. Everything in a 100-kilometer radius was obliterated. But that's only to prelude this tragic tale. The prelude to this tragic tale. This is the beginning. The start of a war for independence by the propagandicality of Xeon. Jesus Christ, dude. The lower grades were dumbfounded, their eyes like saucers at the grand turn of events. What will happen? Will the Terran Federation lose? If things go on like this, they will. Only one person can defeat the Red Comet. That person is Reina Ryugyu. The lower grade students all gulped. It seemed I'd made them fully understand that the fight for Earth was lost without Reyna. Now scatter, comrades, we must find Reyna. My comrades in the lower grades let out an enthusiastic cheer and dashed off in various directions around the school grounds. There was still one person who hadn't gone. But I thought even the Terran Federation's impulse wave diffusal cannon didn't work on the Comet Empire. You're close, that's the white variety of those comets. The reason it didn't work was because they didn't know the weak point. Of course, Reyna knows their weak point all too well. Ryukyu-san is amazing. Satisfied with that, he also rushed off to look for Reyna. It does seem like there are some promising up-and-comers among the youngsters. Little K-chan abilities. This old man knows them better now. Okay. It really did feel like she was complimenting me, but whatever. Really though, how exceptional, Keiichi-san. This looks quite promising. If we have this many, we can win. With this many, we will win. I was thinking that Keiichi would have been a better nominee for the initial zombie. Rika-chan's words stung a bit, but I'd let it slide for now. Not even Reyna would be able to escape the entire class. As a result of everyone's thorough search, Reyna was finally cornered in the back of the sports equipment shed. You're all scary. Keiichi-kun too. So scary. It was probably scary being chased around by the entire student body. All the lower grades closed in on Reyna, saying she was the only one who could save the world. What are you all saying? I can't control a mech. Reyna, how could you leave me for dead? Are you ready to pay for it? I'm sorry about that, Keiichi-kun, but I didn't have a choice. Do not resist. Let yourself be devoured. Let's all be together. Now, Reina, say your prayers. Mwahaha. Reina had stumbled onto a mat, trembling with tears in her eyes. I closed in. Associating this situation with a similar, particularly immoral one made my pulse quicken just a little bit. Sadako and Rika-chan were both wiggling their fingers. They probably wanted to tickle Reina. Reina, wanting no part of what she knew was about to happen, went stiff with fear. Dude. Where the fuck are you? Anyways. Keiichi, you wouldn't do mean like things like everyone else, would you? Would you? I wonder. Now then, are you ready? Okay, so long as it's Keiichi-kun. The face she made as she resigned herself to her fate made my heart skip a beat. I believe that Keiichi-kun wouldn't do horrible things to me. Body won't move. That had to be some sort of anti-zombie mantra. The second my sense of reason chimed in, the beast inside me died instantly. Oh. Reina survived. There was the bell. Game over. Yay! I did it! I did it! I survived! Yay! Reina pranced around merrily as if a curse had been broken. Oh, I didn't mean to scroll. So daylight broke in the nick of time and the evil zombie army disintegrated into dust. And so the heroine survived. Well, that's how it goes in the movies anyway. What are you postulating about? This is all because Keiichi was dawdling about. Goliath, do not eat the box. Punishment is required. I was subdued by Sadako and Rika-chan and once again sentenced to death by 100 tickles. Forgive me, eek. And the award for surviving goes to Reina Ryugu and Mion Sanazaki. Yay! Nii-chan wasn't a zombie? Only pretended to be one. They say you need to deceive your allies before you can deceive the enemy, you know? Oh, Mion, you little... Yeah, hurry up and change, alright? Don't be late for the next class. Let go of me, Sadako, Rika-chan. Having my fill of being terrified to my very core by club activities, I solemnly swore I would have Mion crying for mercy next time. Alright. That scene's over. I think I can stop for now. I'll save after this. Oh, school's over. My throat hurts from talking so much. I'm gonna go drink some tea, and I will see you in the next one. Say bye, Goliath. Say bye.